23-year-old Wells LaRiviere's life would be very different if President Obama's health care reform law hadn't been passed 2 years ago. With a degenerative kidney disease, he had to get a transplant from his father. He was born with a condition that leads to a lifetime of expensive medical treatment. Many insurance companies turned him down, something now illegal under the new law.
Without the Affordable Care Act, I would not be covered now. Without the Affordable Care Act, I would not be able to still be in school and to live out what I hope are going to be my dreams.
America's Supreme Court will begin hearing 3 days of arguments Monday, evaluating if the act is unconstitutional. The bill makes it illegal to deny coverage on the basis of pre-existing condition like that held by Wells. It also requires insurance companies to cover young adults under their parents' plan until they are 26. Calls for free preventative care and expands prescription drug coverage for the elderly. By 2014, when it fully becomes law, all Americans will have to buy health insurance or face a fee. And that's where some opponents view the law as unconstitutional because it requires nearly all Americans to buy health insurance even if they don't want to. Richard Epstein has written briefs urging the Supreme Court to kill the law he and other opponents call Obamacare.
The entire Obamacare bill is a massive intrusion in the way in which both private businesses and government operations will start to take place.
Those who support the law say it's already had a positive effect, giving millions more Americans access to health insurance.
The benefits that people have already received will stop if were the court to throw the whole law out.
Millions of Americans have already been affected by this law, and that's why for them the stakes surrounding these arguments are so very high, bringing it from the Supreme Court to communities across the country like this small town here in Connecticut. There are certain things Wells was lucky to have growing up in Greenwich, and he admits he's a lot better off than millions of other Americans who face major health concerns.
I really hate when I hear the word privilege, the privilege of having health care coverage. This is not something that I take to enjoy. I take it because my other option is to die. And that's obviously not something that anyone can choose.
The Health Care Act is President Obama's defining legislative achievement, and what the Supreme Court does or does not do will have significant impact on his race for a second term in the White House. But for many Americans like Wells, they'll be closely watching what happens because of the direct impact it has on their lives. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Greenwich, Connecticut.